Hey, all right, everybody. How you doing tonight? Welcome, welcome. Hi, Papa Semrod. How you feeling?
Hey, we're all good. Welcome to uh, welcome to the Nebraska Music or Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame virtual induction of one of the great Eastern Nebraska bands from the '80s and '90s, the Jacks. We'll be bringing those guys on shortly and showing a couple of videos and some stills and some interviews and some great stories. And we want to welcome the Jacks to the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame on virtual broadcast tonight, as our previous shows earlier this year were delayed because of the COVID. So we're doing it this way. And we hope to become live and do live shows as soon as this pandemic is over.
That's right. We're going to be doing all kinds of live shows. We're going to go back in the induction catalog and give everybody their due time on live stage. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us a little bit about the organization, Dad.
Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame. Mike Jr. and I, plus our board of directors, was formed late last year as a 501c3 nonprofit corporation in Nebraska. And we have a twofold mission statement. One is to obviously recognize and induct significant Nebraska musicians, bands, and other performing artists. We're not doing just music, but for now we are. But any performing arts to our Hall of Fame. And then with proceeds from any show that we happen to do or these live broadcasts, any funds will be provided and given to youth-oriented music or performing arts organizations throughout Nebraska to help them with their cause. And we will be streaming places where you folks out there in video land can donate if you're able to. I know times are kind of tough, but we're going to have thousands of people on this broadcast around the country and maybe even some international people. So, you know, if even anybody could donate $1 or two, that would be significant. So whatever
Yep.
you can do, we'd appreciate it.
So as you see on the bottom of the screen, folks, you see some different locations you can donate. There's a PayPal link down there. Also Venmo, which is very cool. There's no fees attached to any of those. If you do the friends and family donation through PayPal, you can also do the Venmo donation, and that's free. There's no charge to anybody involved in there. And again, it goes straight to the 501c3. And like Dad said, that's going to some really great organizations, predominantly music organizations or the arts organizations that involve our young people. So that's fantastic.
We'd appreciate that.
Yep.
Mike, I'd like to tell, before we bring the band in, maybe give a short history of the band and their significance in Nebraska music history.
Absolutely, please.
Okay, tonight we are recognizing and inducting one of Nebraska's best bands in the '80s and '90s throughout not only Nebraska but throughout the entire Midwest. A band called the Jacks out of Omaha. We've got 4 of the active members in the band are going to be coming on the screen here pretty soon. And the band was, like I say, very active for about 10 years in the '80s and 1990s, toured all over the Midwest, put out a great album, recorded in Omaha, which I'm glad I found, and it's wonderful. And we're going to be talking to these guys here very shortly. So welcome to the Jacks. We'll do a short virtual induction, and then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of the interview.
Fantastic. Yep. And as you do that, I'm going to be trying to pull up some pictures and some videos. We're going to watch a couple videos as well of this band. And I personally hadn't heard their music, and I wasn't familiar with their music before tonight, or before this past month, I should say. And man, I'm absolutely blown away by the caliber of professionalism and just killer musicianship of this band. And we got to chat with them a little earlier tonight, and they are a group of incredibly funny people. So this is going to be a fun night for everybody involved. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to the induction and a definite worthy induction at that. They're incredible, absolute incredible band. So excited.
So maybe Mike, you want to bring the other guys in, and I'll introduce them and tell them what the instruments they have, and then maybe after that
Let's do it.
Then after that, maybe we'll show one of those videos. They're
Sure.
fairly short, and then we'll go on.
That sounds good. Why don't you introduce them one by one?
Okay. You want me to just give you the name? You'll bring them on.
That's right.
Okay. On guitar and vocals, Mr. Dan Bird.
There he is, Mr. Dan Bird, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Dan.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Dan.
Good to see you, senior and junior.
Yes.
Thank you.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Hanging in
Excellent.
Let's bring in Bobby Figueroa, guitar
Bobby
and
Fig.
vocals. Bobby
there. There he
Fig.
is.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Bobby.
Thank you guys for inviting us for this. This is really very nice.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Well deserved, my friend.
Let's bring in Tom Kenny on drums.
Here's Tom.
Hello, 2 mics on mics.
Hi, Tommy.
How you doing?
All right. And
I look like I'm coming from a brothel.
He's in Germany right now at a brothel.
Yes.
Amsterdam.
Yes.
And last but not least, on bass and vocals, Mr. Dan Polinsky.
There he is, Mr. Dan Polinsky in the house.
Hey.
Welcome, Dan.
Well, thanks for having me, but why am I the last guy to come on?
We saved the best for last, my friend.
Uh-oh. Thank you, young man.
There you go.
Glad to be
Big
here.
big entrance, Dan.
You know, I know exactly why we did that, Dan, because you and I probably have some Czech in, and I'm drinking a Czech beer, which is good for me.
I didn't know we could drink on Zoom. I'm drinking coffee. Come on.
You can drink anything you want.
Pivo.
Bobby's got his rum and cola, so he's all right.
Yeah, I'm drinking coffee.
So we've got a ton of comments happening already. And I do want to reiterate and mention to everybody commenting in, thank you so much. And this is a great way to communicate to the band and give your virtual applause as big Bobby Fig's doing right there for everybody. And I want more comments and more lovely memories. So if you have any great memories to share, good or bad, it doesn't matter. Please do. We're going to be as interactive as possible. So we got all kinds of comments happening, guys. This is really awesome. So keep them coming.
Hey, Junior, why don't we start out with what is we are now used to a virtual induction to the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame. We had the Jack scheduled for June of this year at the Slowdown in Omaha with other great bands. And of course, our April, May, and June shows were delayed for now because of the pandemic. But sometime soon, I hope, we'll bring everybody together at various venues throughout eastern Nebraska and have these guys play live. But for now, this is what we've got to do. So,
God, I had a leg then.
I know what happened.
That's right. The
Maybe you
tripod
should
thing.
explain that, Tom.
I don't have a leg now, but I had one then. What the heck?
Why don't you have one?
I had it removed on Labor Day. Well, the day after Labor Day. They don't cut legs off on Labor Day.
Because
So
of diabetic problems. I'm just so people.
Well, no, because they like to golf on Labor Day.
Ah,
The story I heard was that you drummed so hard one night that it just simply fell off. That's
I
the
wish
story.
I had a great story, like I was partying it up with a couple of ladies on the road and had a car accident, but no, I had diabetes.
oh, dang it.
Well,
But
you
he's
look
already
great.
figured out how he can lock down his sock symbol, and once he gets out of rehab and gets everything, which will be for pretty soon, we hope.
It's a hell of a weight loss program.
Well,
Yes.
hey, I want to move
Fantastic.
forward and formally recognize and induct the Jacks, one of Nebraska's great band, Midwest's greatest bands, to the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame. So there you go. You are so inducted and so recognized. This is a great band, everybody. So
Beautiful.
Thank you.
congratulations
Thank you.
to you guys. You were at the top of our list, and of course included in one of our first shows this year. But it's going to happen. So again, I want to remind everybody again that we are a nonprofit, and the proceeds from any live shows that we're going to do down the road, or even these virtual inductions, we ask that people donate anything from $1 to $2 to whatever you got to the Hall of Fame. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see 2 places where you can donate whatever you can to Venmo or PayPal, and it'll go directly to our account, and then we'll use that down the road to assist youth-oriented music and performing arts organizations. So that's what we're all about. In addition to recognizing the music,
and right now that some of those fees will go to doing performances like this, or at least online streams.
Yeah.
So please do what you can. We know it's a tough time out there, but we appreciate you tuning in and honoring these amazing guys. So fantastic.
I guess what I'd like to do next, Mike, and jump in if you want to do something different, but I'd like to go around the horn and ask all the participants of the Jacks to give us how you got into music. What were your influences? When did you start? And when did you play maybe a first live gig? This will be your music before the Jacks were formed in the 80s. So, Dan?
Let's start with Dan. Dan Bird, yeah.
Okay. First of all, thanks to you guys and to the Performing Arts Hall of Fame for recognizing these old guys who, we had a lot of fun back in the day. We worked hard. I think we were the hardest working band around. We rehearsed, played so many shows out on the road and everything that it really made a difference. But my first gig, I think, for music, for me, was pretty simple. And it's like so many guys my age. The Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. I saw that and I thought, oh my God. Next thing I knew, I had a broom in my hand pretending I was playing guitar for my poor mom. She had to put up with that for years until I got a real guitar some years later and kept going from there. The first gig that I played and got paid was at the Elks Club in Falls City, Nebraska, with the first band I was in high school, and moved to Omaha to pursue music more, and was in a band here for a while called Highfalutin, and left that with the drummer Marty Woods, and went out and wanted to start another band. The first person we ran into was my old partner Bob Figueroa down there. I think he's right below me on this thing. And so Bob and I basically, because Marty couldn't stay with us, but Bob and I put together the original Jacks. He had to leave, and we found another drummer. We found a guy named Tom Kinney laying in a ditch one day over by Fremont somewhere. We drug him home, taught him to play drums, and then we had Herb Detloff as our bass player for a couple of years when we were called Happy Jack. And then when Herb left, we got Jeff Fishbaugh for a year or so, and he played bass. And all along, Tom had always said, this good friend of mine from college, Dan Polinsky, would really be good in this band. And we tried to get Dan one other time. There you go, Tom. And he couldn't do it at the time. But then Jeff decided he needed to go do something else after being on the road so much. And he was, I think, getting ready to get married, stuff that we talked Dan into coming out on the road with us and learning all the music in about 2 days. And so that's the four of us. We're together almost the entire time of that. So, and we still get together. We stay in close contact, even all these years later. We stopped playing New Year's Eve going into 1992 is when we stopped playing our regular gigs, because we played a lot of shows. And but we've gotten together and done things several times since then, including the Hall of Fame in Iowa last year. We played live at Arnold's Park, and for that show, that was a lot of fun. And then we played in Fremont. The band got together last November, a year ago November, and played. And since then, we haven't played live, but it would take us nothing to get it going if we wanted to. Bob and I are both still real active in music. I play a lot of shows in a duo, and Bob plays a lot of solo shows and with other bands and stuff he can tell you about. But we're still ready to go anytime. So I'll turn it over to Bob.
Thank you guys very much for letting us have this opportunity to induct us into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. That's from all of us, I'm sure. And really, speaking for the Jacks fans, we love you guys. Thank you for your support after all these years. You followed us, dedicated to us. You showed up at all the 10 states that we played, all the miles that we drove, all the events that we missed at home. We were on the road all the time. I want to do a big shout out to Tin Lizzy Tavern and all you people out there, Ohio, Texas, my family. Funny story is that when I first met Dan, him and I were actually auditioning for another guy. Well, the guy didn't like us, and I liked Dan, and Dan liked me. So he went home, and I went home, and I was like, damn. And so I called Dan. I go, dude, we should do something. And so we after that and left that guy high dry. And then we brought in and Dan Polinsky comes rolling in. That bass player, he's quiet over there. That guy's super, super gifted. Let me tell you what.
Good. Yeah.
Nice.
He's something. He's some sort of glue to this band. Don't really say a lot, but he really does hold it down. And we've had a lot of fun years, and it's been a lot of things going on. It's been crazy good, but we've had some great opportunities. We met some really famous people. We're just blessed, and we're all still alive. And for this to turn around and you guys honoring us for this, love you fans, love the family, love all of you. Seriously, I'll hand it over to Tom Kenny.
Yikes! I got my start in Hastings at the top of the Clark Hotel. I was in 6th grade, and it was like Terry Sinnard. Oh my God, I'm trying to think back. Got like 4 of us at the Clark Hotel in 6th grade, just playing a gig up there. And we used a megaphone because we didn't have microphones. So we did songs, pretty embarrassing, but we had a great time. Anyway, I was coming out of Thompson Music in Lincoln, Nebraska. A guy named Rick Hilliard chased me out and said, "Hey, you play the drums?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You want to move to Omaha and be in a band?" I said, "Yes." So I moved to Omaha with a guy named Rick Hilliard, JR from High Heel, and then I met Dan Bird. Dan Bird, what did we play? Ashes to Ashes or Ashes to Ashes, and then to Dan Bird, where I met Dan, Bobby. I played with Dan Polinsky in college. God, Dan and I go so far back. We did a gig with, what was that drummer's name? Ed Shaughnessy from The Tonight Show. My God, I had to do a drum battle. That was pretty scary.
You won, too. You beat him.
He won. Tom won.
No,
Yeah.
no, I didn't. He cut me so much slack. He could have blown me off that stage. Anyway, so then was the Jacks. There's so many fans. I want, God, the Vandenberg sisters. I mean, I could go. Anyway, thank you all so much. Pinky and I got to talking. We know so many people from all over the place. I could go on, but I'm not going to. Just I want to thank everybody that got us here, and thank you all. I'm going to turn it over to Dan Polinsky because I could go on forever.
Please do. Yes. Dan Polinsky.
Please. Dan Polinsky.
Well, I'm too shy to say anything. No, I'm just kidding.
Dan go with beer and check.
I have to say that I've been blessed throughout my life totally ever since I exited the womb, maybe even before that. But, well, obviously. But no, I fortunately come from ancestry of musicians. There's a lot of musicians have, ancestry that were musicians and such. So my dad was a big band and combo drummer, and whenever he'd bring his drums home, he would all of us sons and that way would fight over the drums to see if we could play. But that was kind of the start, was jumping on drums. I always wanted to play guitar, and then my older brother Bob, of 5 years older, I don't know, I think I might have been seventh, eighth grade or something when I wanted to play guitar. And he said, why don't you play the bass? And I said, no, I like the guitar. He says, well, this has 4 strings. And I said, really? God, okay, that sounds good. Sounds a little bit easier. But anyway, all through the years, totally blessed in music. I got to play with my dad a lot in the combo, my brother Bob, my brother Michael. And big dream was to play in a kind of a rock, kind of jazz band with my brothers Bob and Michael. That was a lot of fun. And then all of a sudden, Tom Kenny gives me a call. I knew that was going to be trouble. Anyway, to play with these 3 musicians, Dan, Bob, and Tom, that's going to be a memory, and it will never end. That we will stay together forever until we drop, because that was an experience that just totally it's beyond comprehension to be able to be involved in something like that and just come together in synchronicity and tightness that I don't know, it's inexplainable. Very phenomenal.
Sounds like there was some incredible chemistry happening. Am I right by saying that?
Very much so, Mike. Very much.
Yeah.
We've seen each other naked.
You
What's
know,
that,
I think I want to say one of the cool things was that when we got together, you know, if you're a musician, you understand this stuff. Dan Bird plays a Les Paul guitar, play a Fender Stratocaster. So the putting those two together, and the fact that Dan sang lead vocals, I sang lead vocals, Dan Polin sang lead vocals, and Tom Kenny even sang more than support vocals. So we had all the vocals and all the talents. And so putting together songs, honestly, you wouldn't think we'd do it, but we were putting major productions together with just a little tiny amp, you know, half of a drum set down in the basement, and then we get up on the big gear and just like put it all together. And you know, it was just second look for us to do something like that, because we did it all the time. And when you're on the road, it does sharpen you. I mean, you just get sharp.
Oh, sure. How many?
I'd like to add to what Bob said. We got kind of known for our medleys that we did. We pulled off medleys by The Who, including, a lot of songs, but probably our more famous ones were the one by Queen, where we actually, 4 guys, did Bohemian Rhapsody long before anybody else did it that I ever heard of.
Wow, that's
and
cool.
We did a bunch of the songs from that, and the Pink Floyd, The Wall. We did a whole medley of stuff from that with production and everything. It was, and a couple of beach medleys and a bunch of old beach songs, just all kinds of stuff. We pulled off stuff we had no right to do or to be able to do. But we were so courageous or dumb that we did them anyway, and we really had fun with them. Before I go further,
we thought about the production of. They would be like 25 minutes, but there would be lights, there would be costume changes, there would be special effects. I mean, it was quite intricate. The things we thought of. Fog
machines, the Dan picks. I wanted to mention our road crew guys that. When we were on the road, we were lucky enough to go in, do a sound check, go eat, hang out, come back and do a show, go home or go to the motel and sleep and get up and go to the next gig, because we had fabulous road crew guys.
Nice.
And I want to mention a few names, if I can just mention them in case they're watching. The guys that made all the hard work behind the scenes so that we would have the energy to leap around and jump around and do our dance routines.
Which is what we did.
So Neil Klein was our first sound guy we ever had, and Neil has passed since then, but we'll never forget the hard work he did. Dan Picht, who was our road manager for many, many years. And we had a couple of cool things with Dan. He was our stage manager as well, that I would play a harmonica, and at the end of it, I would fling it. And Dan would be over off stage and catch it. And then I had about 20 pairs of sunglasses. And I'd wear those in the middle of different songs, and then I'd flip them just to see if he could catch them. So we had stuff like that going on. Sean Halpenny, a great sound man, and our first really professional sound man. Dave Howe, who did amazing light shows. You wouldn't believe he would do what he could do with the light. Johnny Palomino, whose real name was Mike Grenendike from South Dakota. Scott White, who moved across to Iowa to be our sound man after Sean left us. R.J. Hadley, who's still in Omaha. Bobby Hartman, who passed away a few years ago. And Bobby was one of our road crew guys who later on, I found out a few years later that he absolutely loved his time with the band. That was one of the highlights of his, I mean, that hard grunt work that he did, putting up lights and stuff. And he never forgot that. Mike Larson, road crew. Jimmy Sasetka, another sound guy who came along. Ray Worthman, who now is out in Philadelphia somewhere. Or Pennsylvania, I should say. And then Dan,
those behind the guys, those guys behind the scene, they would get there first. They would unload, cold, hot, it didn't matter.
And
they would
Ben
get that show up and running.
and Roger Stoops. I just wanted to say all their names one time. And one other thing I want to mention real quick. The other guys who were in the band and filled in at certain times. At one time, Marty Woods was our first drummer, never played a live show with us. Tom Kinney came in and replaced him. We basically stole him from another band. I said, we got a gig this weekend. We don't have a drummer because Marty was going to get married and have a baby and all this stuff and move back to Red Oak, Iowa. Tom came in at the last minute, learned all of our stuff immediately, and somehow, well, I won't know how, we blackmail or whatever, we kept Tom in our band and didn't let him go back. Herb Detloff, our original bass player, was with us for 2 or 3 years. When he left, Jeff Fishbaugh came back, and I know Jeff's watching, and thank you, Jeff. I was hoping we could have all of you guys get together with us. John Martinez filled in for a little while on drums, and even Tom Ware, the great Tom Ware of Warehouse Productions, played drums with us for, 10 months or a year or something. Then Tom came back to us, and we've been solid since then. But I wanted to mention all those guys because they were important parts of our past. And one last thank you is Badoo. I hope you're watching. Peepaw says hi. Go. She's watching. I just got a text. That's my little granddaughter who's 2 years old.
Well, there's a million comments coming in, guys.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you for the free pub, guys, from Razor Baby Media in Omaha. In stereo on JBL. They're talking about your Pink Floyd sound, all the mini sets. Yeah. So there's some big love happening coming in. Big love.
There's the record. There's the album.
Nice. Wow, look at that.
It was a new release.
This is the original artwork in my hand, not the album. I don't know. I found this the other day in a closet, and that's the album cover.
Out of the closet.
Yeah, I had a bunch of old stuff in there, old Jack's T-shirts and all kinds of stuff.
Wow, that's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. So okay, well, I think Dad's having some mic issues. I think
we can change his name.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I think I'm going to bring up this really cool video because I want to get a little taste of what you guys are. Are you okay with that? Can I play this video for everybody?
Of course.
Yeah, let's play this.
Hotel one.
Here's how about "Feel Like I've Been Used"? How's that ring? Should I do that?
That's an early one.
Yeah, let's do this one. Let's play this video real quick.
Wait, that's me.
Here we go.
Tom, you have hair. Oh my God.
The song now out on Nebraska called "Feel Like I've Been Used."
Check this out. Yeah.
Two years have changed a bit. Now I know that I'm leaving you. I think you're leaving for stop you. Before, but I came back. Now I know it's just like before. I think you're leaving for like a dog.
Is that Les Paul?
I feel like I've been used. I
Then it goes to a GT Sprint commercial right in the middle. Look out.
Oh my!
Killer. I don't know if they had a commercial right in the middle of the song or what, but that was awesome. Can you tell us, was that for an NET special or what was
It
that?
was South Dakota Educational TV. We did 2 shows for them
Nice.
live in a studio.
Nice. That was what year Les Paul is that? I'm curious as a guitar lover.
I got it in 1972, I think. So, and it was a used one. So 69, I think, is the closest I can get on the serial number.
Very
I have it sitting right here behind me. I did some recording with it today.
Nice. That's awesome.
What happened to my 9 SM57 microphones?
That's awesome. Hold on, I'm gonna get. There's Dad. There, all I see is Dad's head. There he is. All right, he's there. He's there. He's there. So tell us. What should we do, Dad? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? We got all kinds of comments coming in saying, "Oh my God, Papa Bear's so young."
I want to ask
from Carrie.
I wanna
Nice.
ask Dan Polinsky about his musical family. His brother played sax with me in the Smoke Ring for a couple of years. Great sax player.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
I think there's quite a family history of the Polinskys. Can you tell me a little bit about your family and your band?
Sure. Well, as I mentioned, my dad was a drummer in a big band and combo type stuff, and my brother Bob, very early on, took on the accordion. So the accordion was 2 or 3 times bigger than he was when he started playing. I mean, these accordions, the piano accordions, are huge, but he went on to just envelop himself in music totally. He became quite a virtuoso on the accordion, keyboards as well. As he went through school, he got training in trumpet and such, and then he became he just went ahead and went to college for music education. He ended up composing a lot of things in the big band era, a lot of polka music, different kinds of genres and stuff. Had a lot of different bands going. My brother Michael was just a natural on the reeds. He just simply took every reed instrument, bass clarinet, bari sax, tenor, alto, you name it. If it had a reed, he played it.
Nice.
And he had a feel that was just phenomenal. So, and my dad, I have to say, his energy, I think, was something that I haven't seen a lot of musicians have. He would have when he played, you could tell how into the music he is. Now, a thing a musician will tell you when they're really into music, it's not the egoism to be able to play in front of people. What it is I learned from my family and these guys is when the spirit of music is in you, you can't fail. It is natural and you are connected, and it's the most beautiful thing that you can imagine. Any artist in any genre, be it painting, sculpture, woodcraft, anything, when you're into your craft and you connect with it, that's a spiritual kind of emergence there. And that's what's great about going through life and anything you can do, be it business, construction worker. I was a construction worker, and all that plays into music because all that comes into your life goes into your music, and it goes out there. And like Bob said, he said about the fans, the biggest thing is when you can connect with fans and the fans can feel that energy, we become one. And they're musicians as well, because they're into that spirit as deep as the musician is. And there's nothing more phenomenal than that.
That's wonderful. So Roger Stoop says, I remember when you guys gave me the Jack's in Danger album after the gig at Legends Bar. Fun times. I still have the album. Thanks, guys. Very cool. Welcome. Robert Mockmuller says, congrats to Tom and all of the Jacks from Bob Mack and the 57 Chevys. Well deserved.
Cool.
Nice. Good old Bob.
Nice. Some really great comments coming in, guys. Super love.
Say, Mike, will we be able to ever see those comments ourselves?
Yeah, so those will all be on the stream later. So this stream is going to be forever. So it'll be online forever at this point. So you can see all the comments coming in and go back and watch it yourself. So that's the beauty of this technology, even though it is kind of, I mean, pandemic sucks, but there is some good things that are coming out of it, right? So so a lot of people can kind of be interactive with it, which is really cool. So you can go back and follow all these comments. But I'm just trying to read it. There's so many. I'm scrolling. There's probably like 200 comments on here already, which is awesome. So
We'd like to hear the negative ones.
Yeah.
We'd like to make a few comments about them. I don't owe anybody any money.
Yeah, one says, "Where's my $50?" Another one says, "You left me high and dry in Colorado." No, there's no negatives, guys. It's all positive. Wonderful
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Pinky, when was the first time you saw the Jacks?
Probably in the late '80s, Omaha. Don't remember the venue. It was on Dodge.
Oh, in Omaha? Okay.
Arthur's, probably.
Arthur's, yes.
Probably Arthur's.
Or Pope. Oh, no, that was on 72nd.
Yeah. It was about Arthur's. Oh, no, God, I was thinking it was around 78th and Dodge, or I don't remember.
Yeah, that's
about right.
Arthur's. Yeah.
That's about right.
Nice.
Yeah. Arthur's was a fun place to play. It was kind of a small place, and the stage was high. The dressing room was up a ladder off the stage in the back, and the sound man was back up in a little balcony up there. It was really strange, but it was just a kind of a homey, close, fun place to play, and we always had a blast there.
Yeah.
So Bobby, tell us about your favorite memory / gig that you played with this group of guys.
Well, that's funny that you bring up Arthur's on 78th and Dodge. We're sitting up there, we're playing, and we go up into the break room, and one of the road crew guys comes up. He goes, "Buddy Miles is in the building," and I'm like, "Buddy Miles?" I'm like, "Shut up, that ain't gonna happen." And so, next thing you know, in walks in Buddy Miles.
That's true.
We're sitting there, and I'm like, "Yeah," our jaws dropped to the floor, and we're like, "What?" So then he goes, "Who plays that white Stratocaster?" And I'm like, "I do." And I grew up knowing a lot of Buddy Miles. At that moment, I froze, though, because I wanted to get up on stage and obviously play it. Well, I'm right-handed. He took my Stratocaster, turned it upside down, if you guys can follow this, and he played that like I've never seen anybody play guitar. And then when he got done, I was like, "Well, who taught you that?" "Duh, Jimi Hendrix. Duh."
Yeah, Buddy Miles from Omaha. That was his drummer, right?
Unbelievable artist. That was really cool. That was a really cool moment for sure. Then I never really talked about, how I got to be here. I came from Cleveland, Ohio. Shout out to my brother who always sang when I was a kid, and I never gave it much attention. So my sister in New York sent me to Boys Town with the guitar. I didn't know anything about it. I found this guy, and he showed me 2 chords on guitar. And by the end of that day, I was already learning songs on the radio that fast. I was already picking up on tunes. And then I shot through the ceiling because I was so excited. I'm like, "Boy, this is what I want to do." So while I was there, I did study, violin, trombone, classical guitar, piano. And honestly, when you go to Boys Town, you actually get a vocal test. But I didn't feel like singing that day, so I never was in the choir. Go figure, right? And then, like I say, later on, I immediately after high school, first place I walked into, I immediately started working just like that. Made money right off the bat, up until the point I think I met Dan, and then we started that journey. And then after the band, of course, broke up, I could be doing a one-man band. Some really cool people, hooked up with a concert promoter. Luckily, was just gifted enough to work with this guy named Clint Walker. Super, 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 really good voice. So we became friends. We became songwriting team. We opened up for, believe it or not, we opened up for Keith Urban right before he got big. And we met Martina McBride, Kenny Rogers, Clint Black, a lot of big artists. And that would have been in 2014 or so. So I have not stopped,
Nice.
playing. But yeah, music was, I think, a thing in our family that we, unless it was on tap, we would have never known we had it. But my sister sings. My brother Ray is incredibly talented. Ricky is too. My brother Randy was. Rudy played. They all played, but we never grew up together playing together. So there was no Jackson 5.
You all got after an R.
Although brother Ray says he's Michael.
Yeah, he thinks he's Michael, right?
He gets to be Michael.
Oh man,
That's funny.
funny stuff. But I did coming across these guys here. It was just a treat because of the caliber of it, and you miss that, and so it becomes a family. And there's just so much, like Dan Polinsky was saying, it's spiritual. There's a lot that goes into it, It is like a marriage. I mean, there are times that we fought and we had, tense moments, but we also shared this one thing and what we delivered. And that's what kept us going. And we really went far. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, it sounds like you were able to make money from town to town, which is
we made good money, and we had 3 different production or management companies. The original one was out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. They signed us first, and then we worked with a company out of Minneapolis. But we were looking for somebody a little closer, and we went down to Kansas City and met with the biggest management company in Kansas City. We played them part of our album, which we had just gotten a copy of, and thought we would do that. And they said, "You guys are really, really good. This is amazing. But here's the deal. You have to move to the East Coast or the West Coast if you want to take it any further." So we walked out. We weren't interested in doing that. So we stayed with ourselves. We started our own production company and did our own booking and stuff through our own Quest Productions that we started up. And so we just kind of took it into our own hands, and that worked well.
We took it as far as we could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's a huge deal for a band to not only play, but worry about lights, production, booking, and do all that under one roof. That's huge. That's a big deal.
Yeah, the management part was it was a big it's a lot of work, but it just worked out better for us. And I wanted to say one other thing with this modern technology, since we're not playing live. This is pretty cool. And I wanted to say hi to Declan, my grandson, because we got a text from his mom. He's 4 years old, and he wants to know why Peepaw can't see him on here, because we do FaceTime all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's showing me his big belly, which is you like mine.
Yeah, man, that's
and he wants to know why Peepaw can't see it. So Declan, sorry, I'll see you later.
Yeah, and there was another one, Hi Dad from Turner Harnett.
Oh,
hey, Natalie. Hi, Natalie.
Yeah,
Sophia, JJ.
Leslie Martin.
JJ Sapphire, got Downing, Arkansas.
Oh, nice.
And all the babies.
Leslie Martin says, Tom, my uncle.
Ah.
Nice.
Wow, that's weird. Tom's my uncle, too.
Family. I don't think any of the guys know this, but my sister actually played saxophone at Carnegie Hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's actually done better than I had. I had to throw that one in, and I've got a couple nieces I'm pretty proud of, and I've got a granddaughter and a grandson I got to take a shout out to. And what else? I've got something else in there.
Tom, I know what
I love you, Tanya, and I want to say hi to my sister Lisa in Ohio and Raul in New York. All you guys.
I know what it is about your sister that makes you even more famous than her. And I'm sorry, Tom, but did your sister ever have the band Head East ask you where your party was after the show?
Yeah,
they did that to us in Des Moines. We opened up the show for Head East, and they wanted to know where we're having our party after the show.
Yes.
Yeah. I just booked Head East not too long ago. They played right outside of Wahoo.
That's part of the Downward Spiral tour.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's great. Rick Figueroa says, "Golden Child."
That must be Bob.
All of the Figueroas start with an R.
Power supply.
Their
Had to
names.
get a power supply. I'm running out of power here.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Keep
Well,
going.
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play one more song. Is that cool? How about?
Sure, the commercial, either one.
Yeah. We'll see. Here, let me see. Let me see if we can pull one up here. I'm gonna play. How about this one's kind of like islandy. I know you guys talked about being influenced by some island sounds. This intro drum beat by Tommy is killer. It ruined me. This drum fill at the beginning is just smoking. Check this out. Check this out, everybody.
Well, some people tell me I've got it made. Staying in a band all day. They're probably right, I've got it made. But sometimes I'm lost and my home's so far away. Won't you take me, take me, take me? Well, take me back to the island. I wanna go to the island. I remember as a child I would go to my school and act like it's the only thing I wanna do. Now I see the palms waving in my mind, and now I know that it's just a matter of time. Oh, they'll take me, but take me back to the island. I wanna go to the island. Well, take me back to the island. I wanna go to the island. Here's why. Mom said, son, you gotta stop this dreaming, cause everybody thinks you're crazy. Son, you gotta stop this silly dreaming, cause I'm feeling strange. And I don't want you to hear those songs inside your head. I said, Mom, you right, I've gotta stop this dreaming, cause everybody thinks I'm crazy. I know I've gotta stop this silly dreaming, cause I'm feeling strange. And I don't wanna hear those songs stay inside my head. Then I smile to myself as I go upstairs, cause then I hear it quietly in my head. I want to go to the island. 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 Take me.
Yeah.
Trying to learn those licks, looking over Bob's shoulder.
That's killer.
EBD.
I have that keyboard at my house.
I know, right? Still.
I want it.
I have that guitar sitting behind me.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
three. It was three.
I have to say, Dan Polinsky was with us for about 2 weeks before we pulled that show off.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You were pretty new.
Dan and I played in college together, and I was lucky to get him.
Much
Very, very lucky.
That is incredible. So who? So that was an original song. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes.
Yeah,
Who wrote that song?
Dan Bird.
That was a great song, man. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
Very catchy indeed. I'll bet that was one of those earworms.
We did those some original tunes, but it's these other three guys and the touches and the things they would bring to a simple tune that made them breathe, made them alive. We had a lot of great tunes that Bobby wrote, or I wrote, or we wrote together, and the stuff these guys came up with. Like I remember the title tune from our album, "In Danger." We had the song pretty well together, but something was missing. And then I think it was Dan Polinsky or Bob in Des Moines. They came up with a do 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 on the keyboard. Do you guys remember that at all? And that was the missing piece that made that song breathe.
That was my bass line I wanted to play, and you guys wouldn't let me play it. So you let Bob play it on the keys.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had good taste.
It was your bass line. We just reinterpreted it.
That's cool. I didn't realize that, but now that you say that.
So he originally wrote the bass part line for that, right?
Yeah, because he was doing 16th notes, but it just needed that. What I can't emulate what that keyboard does, but it's a killer pull you in kind of sound.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It worked with the 16th note that Dan was pulling out of there because it needed much more meat and potatoes.
It needed something up there in that range. Yeah. And that was just perfect.
But he needed fire on that one. Not gonna lie.
So Zoe Rocks says Tom always wore scrubs.
He did a lot.
That's good.
We didn't pay him enough for the first 17 years because, he was a new guy. So he didn't get paid. So he didn't have money for clothes.
Sometimes I didn't wear any. No one noticed I was behind the drums.
Yeah, true.
So we got a question here.
Are you guys doing at Tin Lizzie's? Are you guys behaving at Tin Lizzie's? Hi, honey. Love you.
It's Tin Lizzie.
Well, thanks, Bob, but you shouldn't call me honey on here. It's not nice.
Hey,
you're talking to Tanya. My bad. Sorry.
We got a question from Mark Wing. Ask Dan. This is for Dan.
Yeah.
If that was Vancouver Island, Canada.
Perfect. No, it was not. Tom Kinney always announces that, but it was not. It was written about an island in the South Pacific. For some reason, Tom got the idea that it was Tom Kinney. It was about Vancouver.
Grand Island.
No, it was actually, it was taking me back to the island I had never been to at that time. It was actually the island of Kauai in the Hawaiian Islands. Sorry, Mark Wing.
Did you end up going there?
Did I ever play there?
No. Did you ever end up going? Did you ever end up going back there?
8 times. Yep, been there 8 times. Yeah.
No kidding.
Oh,
wow.
Well, we could have joined you and filmed the song.
That would have been good. I think we might go back next year because we didn't go this last year, of course. So
you get a free ride to the airport?
No. Well, maybe.
Hey, you guys. Too bad we don't have a video of Tom doing the animals.
I'm surprised. I'm really, really surprised that we don't, because I would think that that's in the archives somewhere. That little.
I have it. I have audio, but I don't have video of it. I know.
I'm surprised there's no video of that.
Never mind.
Well, the animals was the what was that gal's name from Saturday Night Live?
Gilda Radner.
Gilda
Radner.
I'm sure a lot of fans remember seeing that live.
Hopefully not the one with Kim White.
We got
stage at Arthur's. It's funny now.
We got a comment from the great Nils Erickson from Rainbow. These guys look vaguely familiar, he says. LOL. Greetings from Rainbow Recording. Congratulations.
Nils actually did the introduction for us when we did our album release party. We've got that on video, and he talked about the band and everything, and the fact we recorded our album over there with Tom Ware producing and engineering. And I just think Tom did a great job, and thank you, Nils. We'll never forget that.
Hey, did we still owe him money?
Probably.
Nils provided the production for that, lights and sound.
He did.
I ran into Nils at a restaurant a while back. Had a
I
good
think
time.
Neil still owes us money. That's what I'm trying to figure out. someday.
I'm going to have you guys talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'm going to give Pinky a call and find out what's going on.
He looks like Dave Letterman now.
He's
So,
not
like, we're live?
Neil,
Talk amongst yourselves.
Hey, I want to say hi to my sister Lisa in Cleveland. Hey, she's got a killer voice. Absolutely.
I want to
Just
say
saying.
hi to Lisa too. Hey, remember me?
Lisa, my sister in Ohio, in Cleveland,
Yeah,
Ohio.
that's the
Hello.
one. Remember me, Lisa? I wanted to say hi to Tessa, who's kept me alive for a while.
Yes, she did. Congratulations. Yeah.
I should say hi to my family.
I still think you're at a stripper bar with the blue lights behind you.
Oh yeah, you could see all the activity behind me.
Big
Hey, they're
crowd.
on break. They're
Of
probably
course,
on
hi
break.
to our families, right? Dan Polinsky, hi to my whole family. Kathy, my wife, who's upstairs watching, and my 4
Okay,
kids
babe.
that are scattered around the country. Some of them are watching. Hi, guys, and my grandkids. And Dan Polinsky, your turn to say hi to people.
Hey,
Well, I
Brent.
kind of did there.
How you
I
doing,
got
buddy?
a little one in. Yeah. Hello, everybody that might not want to claim me that you know me, but I'm going to say hi to you anyway. Love y'all. Thank y'all so much. DB, I was going to ask you something. I forgot what it was.
No, I can't loan you any more money.
I wanted to
great.
say hi to Maddie and Mason and my son Dylan and Naomi and Jack and Jenny and my nieces in Detroit. I love all of you.
Who would you guys say?
Nice.
Who were our
Ray and
biggest?
Kim, if you're watching, Ray and Kim down in Texas, love you.
Who were our
Hope you guys are
biggest
doing good.
fans? Would you say? Who would you want to say to?
It'd have to be the Vandenbergs. I
You
mean,
want to say hi to them?
the twins.
Oh yeah,
Laura
Vandenberg,
in Lincoln.
they're pretty big.
Yeah.
Jody Jorgensen, she's a huge
Oh.
fan.
Jody?
Yep.
The whole
The
Luke
Stahl,
family.
the
Oh my
Stahl,
God.
the Stahl brothers,
What's that?
the Stahl brothers.
Oh,
West Point.
Yeah. West Point people. Yeah.
I
Long
can't.
time fans.
I mean, geez, we've married people. We
Judy
divorced.
and Bill.
What's that?
Judy and Bill up in West Point
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Got all of West Point.
Jeremy Polinsky.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we got Jeremy Polinsky tuning in.
We've got people that are.
Oh, Jeremy, hi.
Here he is. Hold on 1 second.
You know what?
So, do we want to talk about the future, Bob? What's coming up for you?
A leg.
No,
You
that's
loan one to Tom?
I'm getting a leg.
Oh wait, he's over that way from me.
Oh, always a leg up from us. He's always got a leg up. Wow.
I'd give an arm and at least one leg.
Oh boy, Tom is getting a leg go soon.
I'm thinking about a GoFundMe, but I think they should donate to the Hall of Fame first, and then if there's anything left over,
You get a leg then.
I think we're going to probably have some Zoom meetings or something later on.
We'd pull through McDonald's with Tom, and he always took the cheese off of your Big Mac or something like that.
Don't talk about my Big Mac. This is a family program.
Oh, there's no hope.
There just isn't.
Okay, so I know that Sean's watching, and it's one of those things where I kind of got to bring it up. Tom liked to put loads in cigarettes so they blow up. We're doing a show at One Eye Jack's, and we're up on stage doing our thing, and Tom loaded Sean Halpenny's cigarettes with loads, so he lit it up, and we're up on stage and we're laughing. It is so funny, right? Well, it didn't happen just once. It happened like two other.
It was a convention center.
It was the way it was built up. It was the way it was built up. The first one blew up, and he's like, "Okay, that's funny." So 2, 3, 5 minutes later, we know it's coming. He lights up another cigarette, and all of a sudden, then he goes. He just.
He got so mad.
He got so mad.
John, if you're watching, we're still not sorry.
The third time that one went off, man. I think he leaped up on stage. He was after you, Tom.
When he asked what my favorite things, I think pranks were my favorite thing to do.
Oh, he's getting a phone call. Did you order a pizza?
Let's see.
He stuck a fish in my bed.
He's going to take a phone call in the middle of his Hall of
It's
Fame induction.
Donald Trump asking me for advice again. God damn it.
No wonder what happened.
Who's that?
So Tommy I feel like Tommy's the character of the band.
You know, one of my favorite things was right in the middle of a performance at Arthur's, Bobby was doing Roxanne, except I can't do it like Bobby.
True.
They had a TV screen, and I flew up to the thing, and I brought the screen down as Bobby was singing right in front of me.
Roxanne.
Oh, no.
The other one.
Yeah, Bob was up there by himself singing it. You know, it's a touching moment before the rest of the band came in. Roxanne, and
the other one was
you got a picture like a dark stage, and all of a sudden this solo spotlight, and I'm kind of half serious, and I'm singing it. And in Des Moines, Tom has a remote control car with a little sign on it.
A big one.
It goes by as I'm singing this song. Woo, 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 woo.
But it was under the drum platform, which was 2 milk cartons high. And it had a black skirt in front of it. And I couldn't get it to come out. So you see the skirt moving. And suddenly this gigantic remote control truck comes out with a whip. I can't tell you what the sign said on it, but it was something about oral something or other on it. And it goes around Bob a couple of times. It goes back under the skirt.
So I'm mad. And he's just like busting a gut. He's just like, he's crying. He's laughing so hard.
Oh, the crowd doesn't know quite what to think.
Man.
We had some great time.
We did a lot of Halloween costume stuff that was fun too, though.
yeah, we did.
We did costumes, period.
Well, actually, yeah.
I'll never forget when Bob, we were at the Rowley, I think it's the Rowley Motel, and I managed
to kick out.
Clarinda, Iowa.
Gallon barrels to put your cigarette butts in, and I filled it with water and leaned it up against the door and then knocked. He opened it up, and you could see this wall of water hit the back door or the back of his motel room. And
okay, see, Mike, this is what I'm talking about, Mike. See, this kind of stuff. This would happen weekly.
I love it.
We're tired. We've been on the road. We want to go to sleep. You guys got to get out of this hotel room.
To me, that's what makes people want to come back to see you, because they never know what's going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah. And we all got each other in one way or another.
Yeah.
The night the band would, my band, the starter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My band.
Yes, we can hear Pinky, everybody. We can hear Pinky. Oh, my gosh.
Yay.
Oh,
he finally figured it out. All right.
No, I haven't. I just kept unplugging things.
Oh, we got to tell a story about Atumwa and the doorman.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's hear it.
So
go ahead.
We get to Atumwa. We've never played there. It's called Radar O'Reilly's. We'd never played there before. And we're talking to the doorman.
Down in our dressing room. There's nobody there but the band and the doorman, right?
Yeah.
Big hippie-looking kind of guy.
All of a sudden, we're talking to the doorman, and he like pulls out this big knife, and he goes, boom, right in his leg. Well, we didn't know he had a fake leg. And we're all like, ah.
He had a wooden
leg
sitting there, and we're going, wow.
Well, another great story. I'll never forget this. I went to see the Verandas, and afterwards, we're all sitting around partying, drinking. Of course, no illegal drugs. But Gary Darling, pretends to pull out a gun, and then he, takes a silencer. He's got a 3-legged dog, and he goes, poof, and the dog just falls over. He had a train.
Get the dog trained.
One of those band things,
That's how you had to be there thing.
Yeah. You had to see the 3-legged dog.
Three-legged dog.
Hey, I'd like to bring up one memory
from the Jacks to everyone out there. Happy holidays from the Jacks to all of you.
Very cool.
Yeah. I wish you a Merry Mistress.
Now, the memory I wanted to bring up, I think Pinky will relate to this one. In about the mid 80s somewhere, we opened up a couple of different shows for the Romantics. You know, they had some big hits in those days. And we opened up a show in Okoboji in the old roof garden.
Oh my God.
Remember the
That's
one that
correct.
was upstairs, Mike?
Ooh.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
And big dressing rooms, and we went out and did this big show, and the whole building was going back and forth. And
Literally.
Mike, you probably played there somewhere in those days when it was
Literally shaking. The whole building was like this.
Under the Mocambo, or above
Second
the
floor,
Mocambo.
not the first floor, second floor. The whole building.
Yeah. We were upstairs, and but that was one of the most fun big shows. The place was packed, and there was a review of us. Now, this part I shouldn't probably say, but a review of us in I don't know what paper it was, Des Moines or some paper around there. This says that the Jacks actually booed them off the stage in this review. So we were kind of shocked. We had a real good night that night, but I was surprised that people responded real well. But that was fun.
Yeah.
And then we found out later that the Romantics had requested that we go on the road with them, you know, all over the country on the tour they were doing as their opening act. And our management company never told us about it because he was afraid of losing control on us. And so that was
Split the commission. He didn't want to split the commission.
right. So we never found out about that until, I don't know, a few years later, somebody told us about it behind the
GMA. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were sure fun shows, though.
Yeah. What a neat opportunity. That's great.
Hey, Mike, let's jump in real quick again and tell people about the streaming.
Absolutely.
Bottom of the
Yeah,
page.
don't forget, guys, I'm trying to put it in the comments too, but just so we can have this kind of fun continually, don't forget to donate to the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame via PayPal, which is quick and easy, or Venmo if you can download that on your phone real quick. It's super easy and free. So that keeps these really fun inductions and these performances and shows happening, guys. And trust me, we need it big time right now. We're not doing any.
Get a leg, please.
That's right. That's right.
Hey,
Down
Mike,
my Tom's leg.
Mike, I got a question. Didn't you say you had some still shots too of years gone by of the band?
I have just one that looks like a.
Mike, I emailed you about 4 or 5.
Yeah, I can pull those up. I'll pull those up and dig those up. But let me pull this one up. This one's a really cool. What looks to be like a promo shot. And this logo, I assume you guys stuck with the whole time. Is that right?
Except for, I don't know if you saw somebody step out in Tom's house live earlier. Tessa was there with another shirt. We changed logos for a while, but we went back to this one because this one felt right.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this looks like maybe a promo shot of you guys back in the day.
That was a poster and also on table tents and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That is, well, it's obvious to me that you guys had some style. I saw Bobby Figg's leather jeans in the video earlier. And yeah, no doubt about it. You were rocking that look. And Dad, why don't you take over for a second? Oh, we lost Bobby Figg for some reason. He'll probably be back in just a second. But Dad, I'm going to look for those in the email and see if I can pull those up real quick.
All right.
$100 an hour photo shoot. I'll never forget that.
Oh, everything was expensive in those days to get promo stuff. I mean, you know, for the money of those days.
Guys, we should say that we were in an era that was a phenomenal era for music in Omaha and a lot of surrounding towns and cities, like there isn't today. I mean,
true.
The venues were packed. Live music was thriving. There were a lot of very successful bands at that time. It just seemed like an era that we just kind of hit at a good time for the kind of music we were playing.
5 or 6 nights a week was very common in most of the clubs. 5 or 6 nights a week.
Yes.
And now it's all one-nighters and stuff.
The bars out in the small towns, Columbus, geez, I can't even name all the towns.
The ballrooms were phenomenal.
Yep.
All along,
The Snyder Ballroom, that was a blast.
Snyder, all those.
Hardington, Schleswig, you name it. There was, God.
That was back before all the owners had to burn them down.
A couple of them were burnt down.
All three
We did
Kings
the cobblestone up in Storm Lake, Iowa, Mike. That was when we went in there. There's all these posters from the big band era.
Oh, yeah.
Miller, Tommy Dorsey, all these big bands that played there. Unfortunately, that was a beautiful ballroom. It eventually burnt down, but that happened to a lot of these venues that
Riverside. Yeah, remember the Riverside in Norfolk? That was
great.
Yeah, I played there.
Well, I'm thinking of the Snyder Ballroom and all of those things written backstage by the big bands and stuff. I mean, they went way back there, I think, to even the 20s and 30s and 40s. And this stuff is still written there, that was so cool. And we did that reunion show there just a few years ago. I had to go back there and see it. That was such a cool place.
The roadie creed never changed all those years.
That's true. I don't think you better say it on here, though.
No, I could change it a little and make it a safe one. But.
So what did happen to Bobby Fig?
He was having his battery was going down. It sounded like he was losing power on his computer, possibly.
No. Well, Mike, you thought this would be around an hour or so. Did you guys need to wrap things up here?
No, there's no time limit on our end, but here's Bobby Fig. We'll see if we can get him back on. There he is.
Good. Bob's back.
Okay.
There I am.
We got Barb Stone.
Yeah,
says
for some reason it just went crazy.
Okay. Barb Stone says ballrooms
it's
were
still kind of going crazy.
That's so true.
Ballrooms were classic. And Holly Figaro says treehouse.
Oh, the treehouse. Yeah. Good old Holly.
The treehouse.
Of course, the Ranch Bowl, Gina Vandenberg says.
Yeah, we played there a lot of times.
Yeah.
That was a fun place, too.
Bowling
during the breaks.
There are two.
I did a lot of years. I did a lot of years at the Treehouse, a lot of years at RD's in Fremont, and then of course followed by just the whole region. I pretty much stayed in this whole region. But yeah, that was
what was it? Bobby, was it the Silver Bullet?
Silver Bullet outside on the west side of Fremont. That was that. Yeah, that had temporary management. It lasted for a little while.
Boomers.
Yeah.
God, I hated having to share the dressing room with a stripper. That was terrible.
Yeah. I don't recall it as being so terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe my memory's bad.
Was that at Boomers here in Fremont? Is that right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
Me, boy, these doorways are narrow.
Someone also said tutus and rainbow socks. Holly Figaro.
I want to say hi to my daughter Holly, who's getting ready to have a baby here December 25th.
Nice.
Blueberry.
I'm going to bring our little blueberry into the world.
Nice.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about
it. How's everybody at Tin Lizzie doing?
How you guys doing at Tin Lizzie?
Let's hear a shout out.
Do a shout out. We're doing a shout out. Do you guys need to type in?
Yeah, type in and say how you're doing, folks. Tune in on the Facebook page or YouTube page. Someone also mentioned in Wishbones in Columbus, famous Wishbones.
Oh my God, Wishbones! Nice. What a great club.
Yes.
We
did nothing there.
I gotta tell a quick story.
Yes, please.
Mark Lyerly from Sound Show let me use a laser. One of the first high-end lasers, and
the thing was huge. It wasn't like those little ones anymore. It was gigantic. And you had to hold it like this.
Did we open up for, I think we opened up for Black Oak, Arkansas.
Yes, that's correct.
And,
really?
And who's the lead singer?
Jim Dandy.
Jim Dandy.
Yeah.
He came out with a pair of white pants that was so tight. Oh my God, there was like 3 pair of socks in there. And while he was out there singing, I took the laser in the back and did circles around the pair of socks.
Oh no!
The manager came up to me and I thought he was going to scream. He goes, "Where can I get one of those?"
Jim Dandy was not a particularly nice guy, was
tore
he?
up the dressing room and threw all the hors d'oeuvres all around and stuff. Not a nice man.
No, he wasn't.
Oh my God. That
But
was so funny. We were back there just going circles around that thing.
Are you guys
The crowd
familiar
was
with Johnny
laughing.
Bowen up in Sioux City? Johnny Bowen, Tommy's brother.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
Johnny
knew.
is
I
still
knew. I
touring with Jim Dandy and Black Oak, and Jim Dandy is maybe 350 pounds now.
Yeah, he was big when he played there that time.
Really?
Chris,
He shouldn't have been wearing that old outfit that he did. Let's put it that way. He was kind of busting out a little. He wasn't 350 yet, but
we had a lot of fun on the road.
I bet it sounds like it. Wow. So John Rogers says, I remember seeing your voice of the theater speaker actually break into fire at the Millard Ballroom.
Remember that when the rings, JR, I'll tell you, if it hadn't been for JR, this all wouldn't be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
he's our father. What? Wait, what?
I moved to Omaha to play with what became High Heel and the Sneakers, but that was how I met Dan Bird.
Okay. Yeah. He says spandex sadness. And he also says ran sound for you at Finney's Monkey.
Oh yeah, Finney's and Denison.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't remember that. Yeah.
Wow.
We did play there a few times.
Yeah. Saddle Creek in Omaha, possibly. Was that in Omaha? Saddle Creek?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh yeah, that was probably my favorite venue.
Yeah, One-Eyed Jack. Bill Melby
Yeah.
ran that place and hired us and did a lot of production stuff with us. We'll always be grateful for Bill and all the stuff he did. He may be watching now too, so that's cool.
I don't know if we reviewed it, but what was the duration of the band? Was it around 10 years?
Closer to 11 or 12.
Really? So
Where we were full blast. We started before 80 and ended at the beginning of 92.
Okay. Wow.
Nice.
Amazing.
Hey, guess who's here?
Jim Dandy.
Get your face in here.
Jim Dandy's at your house?
Yeah. Yeah. All 350 pounds of it.
Yay.
Got here.
Another thing, since we're kind of throwing out memories and stuff, playing at, what was the big place in Des Moines that we played?
Oh, Easy Street.
Yeah. Easy Street. That was a huge place. It was formerly a disco and it became a rock place, I guess. And
an Earl Mays.
Yeah, that's what it was. You're right. And what one of the times I remember the Edgar Winter Band, we opened for them, and we got to see them play and listen to them to play Frankenstein and all these other things.
Wow.
And that was a treat for us to go out and listen to them. Of course, then one other memory like that, we were playing in Creston, Iowa, not Creston, but Creston.
I remember.
We were playing 4 nights, I think it was. And one night they gave us the night off because they had a band coming in who wanted to use our PA. And it was Mel Tillis. So
No, it was bigger than that.
No, it wasn't Mel Tillis. It was
it was
what was his name?
It was the guy that gave us Dolly Parton. It was
Dolly Parton? You're talking about
he had a TV show for years.
Porter Wagner?
Yes, Porter Wagner.
He'd open up his shirt and
it said hi.
Hi,
boy, I tell you what, he had the hottest band I ever heard. Every guy in that band was, Nashville quality studio musicians.
Oh, yeah.
Fiddle
made a lot of money.
player and stuff. Oh, wow.
A lot of money with Porter Wagner, for sure.
So you got the Jacks one night and Porter Wagner the next night, and then the Jacks the next one. It was odd.
There you go. There you go. Perfect.
Sandwiched right between Porter Wagner. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, they said you guys can just leave. Just leave your equipment.
That's great. Wow. Very cool.
Did anybody send in any questions for us or anything? There any-
Well, we had somebody say, "Remember Peanut Island?"
Oh my God. Yeah, we had to. We lost. They never paid us.
Where was
Oh,
that?
really?
Peanut Island was on 13th and like
Martha,
as you get off the interstate.
Martha, close to Martha.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You get off the interstate. Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, I remember that one.
I didn't even remember that name.
I had to sue him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sometimes when you don't get
I
paid,
collect-
you can remember that.
I collected from every club that didn't pay us.
So was that your duty in the band? Were you the finance guy?
Well, I was the sewer.
The sewer.
We sued the pomp room and won.
In
Nice.
Sioux Falls. That's
Sioux
right.
Falls.
And by the
Okay.
way, speaking of the pomp room, there is not a movie. There's a program about them on Facebook about the history of the pomp room. Tom, if you ever want to watch it,
I do want to.
I don't know why we never got to play there, but
Oliver's Black Alley.
Oh,
boy,
we
there's a
lost
story.
all our equipment there.
Johnny Rogers says that. Also,
All
he
of
says
our gear burned up.
They did a.
they
They
had
had
a fire.
a fire when we were playing. We played there a couple of nights, and then the next night we were supposed to be back. But on that Friday night, it burned, or Thursday night, whatever, it burned to the ground.
All of your
That's
gear
over
was
here.
lost?
Yeah, everything. Our new light
Oh.
system and everything.
Oh my God.
So we had to start from scratch, which was, and of course they had no insurance and nothing for us. They couldn't do anything for us. So
Oh
Mark
my-
lost his whole PA there, and
Yeah.
they did a what do you call it?
a fundraiser for
A
us.
fundraiser for us.
John Rogers and some of those guys got together, and they were nice enough to do that.
Yeah.
for us.
They were.
Wow, that's crazy.
But Tom took all that money and spent it somewhere else. We never got to see it. So
The sewer.
I had to get, as I remembered, I had to get half price hookers.
Yeah, for a while, just for a while.
you poor guy. Then you got
Poor
married.
fella.
Well, what can I say?
How about Butch Casualties?
Cassidy's, Butch Cassidy's.
I think he meant Cassidy. He wrote Casualties.
That's probably more accurate. Where was that? Was that the one down in? I don't know where that is.
Oh my God.
Johnny Rogers wrote that, so maybe he'll comment back in here.
I remember the name, but I don't remember where it was. Is that the one down on the other side of Papillion, down there on 370 or whatever that highway is?
That was Bush.
I can't. You know what I remember was the one that really got us our start was John Blankenship owned it. Always had the big shamrock on. It's still.
Oh, that one in Leavenworth?
Yeah.
Oh,
We all worked at the med center.
The
yeah.
Here I am.
Bobby's back.
Marleybone?
Marleybone.
Yeah.
We used
I don't know why I was doing that.
little corner.
Yeah. Tiny. And we rocked that place too. It was
Oh yeah.
I do want to say thank you to the Vandenberg sisters. I know they were mentioned earlier, but often
Venus here.
when we would play, the first people that got up and danced were these two sisters, and they were with us from the beginning to the end, and they still stay in touch. So
Nice.
thank
Yeah.
you for those two.
Gina's here. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Gina
Cool.
and
Gina.
Monica. You know, I don't think I'll ever forget Monica and the hat. You guys don't
Okay.
remember the hat?
She wore one a lot, right?
Well, no, she managed to get both of her units in one.
Ah,
Wow.
Interesting
I
hat.
mean, not that that's all I remember about the Monica and Gina. I loved them both. They danced all the time, even when no one else would. How about Scarf Man and Dog?
Dog Boy. Yeah.
Yeah. We had some great fans. I mean, just
It looks like it. There, a lot of them are tuning in. How about the great Little Bows in Lincoln?
Oh, yeah.
Little
Yeah.
Bows and
Great.
Great
club.
crowds
so
there.
glad they turned that into a grocery store.
That's too bad.
How about-
Yeah, those, you know, the music scene, you know, I was going to say the music scene back then was as I'm sure Mike, you know, during your time. I mean, it was an evolution. Every 10 years, it seemed like to change. The '80s were pretty much exploding, and as hard as we worked, nothing was ever guaranteed. It seems like the music scene today is totally different, and it's still just as hard. I think people take for granted that it's easy, when they see that talent on stage, and geez, you should make it, but it's not that easy. It's really, really difficult. I mean, it's like winning the lottery if you get picked. If you end up pulling it off.
What was the name of the other club by Little Bows? It's still there, I think.
There was
that's
we used to play there.
I don't know
that's out on Cornhusker, 27
Cornhusker, right?
I'm not sure of a club out there.
Oh my God! They had a hot tub. They had dancers.
You talking about Guitars and Cadillacs? Maybe that's
come on.
No.
Oh, I know. You're talking about Mike Simrod Jr.'s house.
Yeah, that's my house, my backyard.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, come on.
Hot tub.
They had a hot tub. They had dancers.
You sure you didn't dream this? Hot tub and dancers?
They've been there for years and years and years and years.
They're still there?
They're still there. I think I played there with the Jacks. I played there with Centerline.
Yeah.
I think they're still
believe it because they had amateur night and they would give me a microphone.
Oh, you're talking about the Royal Grove?
Yes, the Royal Grove. And they gave me a
yeah.
microphone and they'd I'd make farting noises while they were dancing.
Yeah, that closed. That did close down for a while, but it just recently opened back up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just couldn't believe they gave me a microphone and let me announce it.
That is why.
Yeah.
That's probably why they closed.
Yeah, it was a strip club by mid-afternoon and then a rock club at night. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a legendary spot, the Grove. Yep.
Yeah,
that's a
grave, we used to call it.
Further down by the airport is where that's at.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So how many shows a year did you guys play, you think?
Oh my God. What was that Christmas week? We worked like 6 nights, one-nighters in a row.
The most we ever did was 14 nights straight in a row, because I remember having to sing, and for whatever reason that we were just in the zone, and it just happened. And I recall that because somebody asked me, how many nights have you ever sang in a row? And I remember not having a problem with it, but yeah, I believe it was 14 straight nights in a row.
We tried to do the song list so that we switched, try to get it so it was every other song was every other person.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Good idea.
How many per year do you think on average did you do?
Oh, geez. That's a
How many
great
shows?
question. That's a great question.
Yeah, how many shows per year do you think you did?
Well, I always tell people we did 3.5 performances a week, every week, and then we came home for a couple of days, and then we went back on the road. So go 3.5 times 365. So we 264. I don't know, pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Probably over 100. Probably over 100.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
150, 200,
Right.
somewhere in there.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we were full-time crazy guys playing all the time.
Wow, that's great.
But it was fun. I mean, it's hard
Yeah,
work.
even
but
though because even though some have been usually like 3 performances, they could easily have been the next week 5 performances. It all depends.
Sure.
And then there were Arthur's that was weird because you'd work Sunday at Arthur's, it was like Wednesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is unheard of.
So we have a question.
I want
Did you?
to jump in real quick. I want to tell everybody if they were unable to sign in tonight, that both on our YouTube channel and on our Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame Facebook page, this will be archived forever. So
It'll be on there.
Want to watch it again or tape it or tell somebody else about it down the road, go ahead, and I believe they can make comments, and it will just continue.
Forever.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget to give to the PayPal and Venmo if you can, so we can continue to do these amazing, historic interviews with these incredible, iconic Nebraska bands. That's what it's all about, folks. Giving credit where credit is due. Now, I have a question. There's been a common thread from my generation to your generation. Back in the 70s and 80s, the DUI laws were different. And when I go out and play, we play about 70 to 80 shows a year, and it's different now than what it was then. And my fascination with that timeline is I think simply that, I think it's different because you could get away with more back then. Would you guys agree with that?
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, we had a designated drunk, a guy that pretended to be drunk and then drive, and he get picked up, and then all the drunk people drive home while that guy was pulled over.
Yeah, it was definitely different. I would say, you could get pulled over and asked just to go home in a lot of cases in the 80s, but everything, for some reason, it's at some point it obviously changed, and it's not even close to what it was now. In fact, that's why this music scene is almost non-existent now.
Yes.
I agree.
It's harder. It's harder for sure. The crowds are lower, I think, and the shows aren't as rambunctious, I guess you could say.
Well, the pay's down too. The pay is a lot cheaper, but you can get more of your original stuff out.
Yes.
Like they're more open to original. Like with us, we had to put cover and then throw a couple originals in between the cover music.
Right.
Now, it's just really changed. And even as far as the audience goes, I mean, you get up on stage now, people are on their phones.
Sure. There's that too. Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
There's that phone thing that's going on where when the Jacks played, people were not looking at phones. People were with the band.
Yeah, that's true.
I like that T-shirt behind Tom. I like the T-shirt.
Look at that logo. That's great.
Well, the advertising is different now too. It's got to be like the Jacks featuring a one-legged drummer.
Yeah, it's the marketing. It's good marketing, man. It's good.
Yeah,
marketing.
it worked.
He did it for attention. He did it for attention.
Yeah. Yes. That's wonderful. So yeah, we've got, let's see, what do you guys, okay, we're talking about the future of live music. Mark Wing asked us about the future of live music. Raul Sanchez says a strip club that turns into a rock club by the afternoon. I guess it's just a strip club that you can get your rocks off if you stay looking enough. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you know, that's it.
Good
Raul. That's my nephew, Raul. Good one.
Yeah. Gina Vandenberg says, OMG, thank God the DUI laws were different back then and the park curfew.
Love you, man.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a different music scene now, I hear so many bands from the 70s and 80s talk about, these crowds that would come out to see the music. And my generation, I always get jealous of that. I always say, wow, I bet that was awesome, because you don't quite see that too often anymore. But
the crowds that you see now would be smaller places, but there are people, believe it or not, I've been seeing the last 10 years, people my age that come out to see us play, old classic stuff. Sure. They're still, like you go to a town like Shenandoah or Red Oak or somewhere like that, and people come out to those places and they'll listen to the music that you play. That's what I've been seeing the last 10 years. I don't know what the other generations are like. So
I think what it is, that was a cool time. It was cool music. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see another Eric Clapton. You're not going to see another, ZZ Top come along, or all the bands that were in the 80s. It was a very exciting time. Nowadays, it's all like processed music. It's just all different. It's just different.
Yeah. It is different. Yeah.
WAP?
What?
WAP?
He says WAP. Not big on that WAP music. Yeah. It is different strokes for different folks, man, for sure.
No,
are you guys doing
there's young kids, like I have young kids. My two daughters and my son, and they'll listen to 70s, 80s music. Mm-hmm. They appreciate it, and a lot of their friends do. And I hear all of a sudden these kids that are teenagers listening to that era of music you were talking about, the 80s and such. So it's really pretty cool.
Yeah, no, there's a reason why it was good. I absolutely love it. So yeah, for sure. We had Roger Stoops.
The clues when they start redoing the hits, and they're rewriting them and they're putting bass on them. And it's every now and then it's like we know that song because it was a big hit back then, but the new kids are discovering it. It's just as good then
Right. Totally.
as it is now. Well, it can always translate to a period.
Yep. I agree.
Snappers.
Yep. Like the Fleetwood Mac resurgence recently because of a little meme or an app. That's crazy. So Roger Stoops asks, when's the next Jax reunion? Well, I mean, I could maybe answer that when we get this.
As soon as he gasses up the truck.
Yeah, gas up that truck. Yeah, man. That's right. Gina Vandenberg again says, Dan P., remember going swinging in the park after a gig?
I was thinking about that about 10 minutes ago when Dan and everybody were mentioning the Vandenbergs. Yes, Gina and Monica, Peggy, after a show in Omaha, we'd go do something. We went to, People Park, you name it. We just did a lot of stuff after the show, outdoors, outside, parks and stuff like that.
Nice.
Great. Not on the phone.
These gals are great. Good times.
Cool.
Not on the phone.
Pinky fell over.
I would like to thank one person myself too. After the Jacks, I got to play a little bit with a band. God, I can't remember the name of what they were. It was kind of a blues band in that way, and that was fun. That was a great gig for a few months. But after that, no music for a while, and then all of a sudden, me and my wife end up, after being 9 years, she was able to get pregnant, which she wasn't to being able to do that years before. So long story short, I was raising children and a family, and all of a sudden, I think Tom gave me a call. Would you be interested in playing bass again? And that was many years later. Tom, do you remember what year that was? When you and Rick Hilliard, thank you, Rick Hilliard.
Yeah.
I played with Rick off and on different shows. Rick Hilliard's a great promoter of music down from Tabor, Iowa, by the way. You probably know him, Mike, I would think. But
I bet Pinky does, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to give a thanks to Rick Hilliard too for otherwise I probably would not have been playing music at all. Hopefully the Jacks would have gotten me back though to do a couple shows, but he got me back actively and playing some music again, which was great.
Nice.
Interesting. Rick Hilliard also called me up. I took 20 years off after the Jacks broke up. I became a school teacher and then an administrator and was in Omaha Public Schools for 20 years. And Rick called me up about 10 years ago and he said, hey, I got to play a wedding. I don't have a guitar player. You be interested in coming and playing? I said, I haven't played for 20 years. He says, that's okay. You want to try it? And somehow he talked me into it.
Wow.
I went and rehearsed with him. We went and played. It was so much fun. I remembered what my true love was, and that was playing music. So nice. Rick also got me back in playing, and I still appreciate that too. And I played with Rick for about 6 or 7 years here until about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, same way with me. Rick got me playing again. I also got to do a shout out because I did 2 years with a couple of great guys, the Fritz brothers. I did 2 years with On the Fritz, and I love playing with those guys. They are two fantastic guys, and I just love them. They're great identical twins. They're the best identical. Well, I guess I only know 2 identical twins, but yeah.
Wow. So I have a question. I have a question for my bandmates. Do you foresee the future of live entertainment taking a twist?
Come on, baby.
The twist is
the mask and the coronavirus and the low crowds. I mean, there's just a lot of moving parts.
That's a great question. I mean, because this is a big pause in everything we've all doing this year because of coronavirus. Where things pick up again, will they pick up as they were? Nobody knows for sure. And we're getting older, so we won't be playing too much awful longer, but I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh my God.
You still got the Showdown that's doing original bands, and you still got, I mean, right off the top of my head, that venue. We had one in Fremont that just closed down, the Corner Bar, and she had all kinds of blues going in there every now and then. But it's you can name them off on your hand. It's just not that many. Whereas back in the 80s, you couldn't get enough. I mean, it was just.
That's true.
Yeah.
You were getting more than I was in the 80s then.
I think it'll take a minute for people to get comfortable with going back out, but I think it'll happen. I think people are yearning for it. You know, they're hungry, and I think, you know, like
Guys,
tonight.
you know, I was on the road in the 60s and 70s, and it was the same thing. So from 60 through early 90s, we could have played every night if we wanted to. I had a day job, but we were playing 3-4 nights a week all the time for like 35 years. And then it kind of started tailing off, and now we got the virus thing. It's very dramatic change.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had hookups, you could literally. I mean, if you were a guy that was playing all the time, you could literally. And I knew a couple of guys that literally would almost work every night because they were that constantly.
Yeah.
Maybe we should form a band called the Kevorkians and just say, hey, anybody come out and just die, just come on out and have some fun. Hey, you know, I forgot to mention somebody that I was in a band with that I had the best time I can ever say, and that's Bobby Figueroa, and I did a duo together, Fat Man and Little Boy. You can guess who's who. Bob, I had the best time playing with you.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The story behind that is that I went down to Galveston, and as soon as I got down there, this guy says, there was somebody on the phone. They wanted somebody to play. And I was like, I'm here. I just got here. I showed up at this gig. I'd never been to Galveston. Drove over there, and they said, you're going to have a keyboard player, a bass player, a drummer, and a bass. And, you know, and so I would play guitar and keys, blah, blah, blah. I get there, and only the drummer shows up. And it was phenomenal. So we did the show. Just my guitar, my voice, his drum kit.
Nice.
And people went crazy.
Nice.
The white stripe.
I went ahead and ran with that. After I got back, I immediately called Tom. I go, you won't believe what happened down in Galveston. But the key elements were there. You had the vocal, you had to play guitar, you know, just basically well enough, or a little bit more I want to say complicated enough to fill in that musical void, and then you had the live beat. So you had the three elements of a tune: voice, guitar, and tempo, and pulled it off. And I tell you what, Tommy and I were busy. I was down in Texas, busy.
Wow.
And but almost 99% of the guys are like, you need a bass player. I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. But to discover that and just to be as busy as we were, and we were very busy, I'd easily do it again, for sure.
Yeah. Bobby, I got some drug cookies for you.
Drug cookies for me. Drug cookies.
Drug cookies, man. Nils Erickson says, shout out to the Kellys, Russ, Steve, and Caroline. Must have had over 20 bars: Saddle Creek Hamiltons, One-Eyed Jacks, Muldoons, Old Maple Inn, City Limits. The Jacks played most of them.
We did.
Pogos.
I miss Nils. I haven't seen him for a while, but I miss Nils. He's a good guy.
He's a great character.
And one more, before I forget, because he'll never forgive me, I want to say hello and thanks for the support from EA, Extreme Alan Planbeck, who has been a big supporter of mine for about the last 10 years as far as playing. And I want to thank him personally. And I know he's watching. He's already been sending me nasty texts and stuff. Yay.
He's just stalking you. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
guys.
Mike,
Yeah. Go ahead, Dad. What were you going to say?
Mike, you got time to play that other video or share some of those stills real quick before we sign off?
The stills were not found. I could not find them, but I will play one more video for sure. We can play. Let's see if we can do this one video here.
Love you, honey.
This is When I Look in Your Eyes.
Oh my God.
By the
Good
Jacks, 1984.
Yeah. Bobby Fig.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Hang on, kids.
Yes.
Tight leather pants.
Dance moves.
70s corner mustache.
When I look in your eyes, can't help feeling bad. I can't decide. I can't be wrong. Oh, I got a feeling coming on. I'm wondering why. I'm so good inside. When I look in your eyes.
Nice song. Cool.
When you tell me you're mine, I let myself swing up and down. It must be love. Cause you're the girl that I keep thinking. I'm wondering why I'm so good inside, yeah. When I look in your eyes, when I look in your eyes,
Wow.
And that key change.
when I get you alone.
Woo! Oh my God.
When I look in your eyes, when I look in your eyes, when you tell me you're mine, I get up, seven seconds up and down the spine. It must be love. Cause you're the girl that I'm thinking of. I'm wondering why. Why you so good and
Killer harmonies.
when I look in your eyes, when I look in your eyes, when I look in your eyes,
Nice.
when I look in your eyes, when I look at your
Yeah. Nice. Fantastic. Wow. That was killer. Wonderful, wonderful song. Was that an original song?
Nope, Romantics.
Oh, is that okay? Okay, I've not heard that one. That was great. That was great.
Hey,
what a stage
before we-
change.
I know it's about time to go, but before we go, I want to tell folks that are watching that we have a YouTube channel for the Jacks where we have a lot of different videos and things we've done, including those songs, I think.
Yeah, what is that?
We have a Facebook page as well where we keep track of. That's where people can keep track of Tommy and his new leg when he gets it. That's
Yeah.
where I put out information because we've got hundreds of people in that group, and they can keep up not only with what we do, but with Tom, how he's doing, because he has so many friends out there and everybody else. So remember, YouTube and Facebook will stay in contact.
How can they find those, Dan? Do you know the address? Do you know the URL for those?
I do not. If you do a search for them, you'll find both of them easily, though.
Usually,
Okay.
if you type in the name of the song with the Jacks, those songs that were performed at the South Dakota Public Television actually come on. So, like,
Okay.
if you do Bloody Sunday, you'll see Tanya at the end of it. Woo woo!
Nice. Very nice. Very
That's
nice.
your wife, right?
I didn't know that was on there. I was like, we discovered it one day. I'm like, wow, cool.
Oh, yeah. She's in the audience.
In fact, if you look at the hits,
Come here, doggy.
that one song has more hits than any of the Jacks.
Say hi, Bear.
Hi, Bear.
Oh, doggy. It's
Type in the corner. You can't type that in. But
Okay, guys. Well, we can't thank you enough from my dad to you. We can't thank you enough for just being you and rocking and being a huge piece of Nebraska history. I think that's immense. What you accomplished was immense and caused all kinds of memories and love for so many people. We've had more comments tonight than any one of these that we've done so far, and that means that you've. I mean, we're talking hundreds of comments on here, so this is really killer. So that means that you made a huge impression on so many people's lives, and that's something that, That's something that's magic right there. That's true.
We
magic.
love all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you guys very much, and thank you to all the fans. Love you, family, all of your family, honey. I love you too, and all my friends, everybody, you guys. And Tom, Dan, I love you guys.
Love
Brother,
you.
forever.
Always.
The negative,
Always.
we will get you. It will take time, but we'll get you.
Thank you, Mike and Mike.
Nebraska-
Thank you, Mike and
Yeah.
Mike. I appreciate it. Thank both of you.
Yeah.
The Nebraska Performing
Yeah, the
Arts.
service they're doing, that you guys are doing, is keeping this stuff alive, and that's great.
Yeah.
The people.
Keep yourself alive. Keep yourself alive.
Oh, I almost got to finish a sentence.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate that, man. You're right. Thank you so much. We love keeping this alive for everybody, and the memories are huge. This is now cemented in history at this point. This is going to go on for a long, long time if I have anything to do with it. So we appreciate that. So Dad, do you have anything else to add, Mr. Pinky?
No, I think we're good. I appreciate the band. I appreciate all your friendship.
Well, if you ever get, if they ever stop this stuff and we can do a live show, down the road, that would be kind of fun.
Oh, we will.
That would be.
For sure.
I'll have a new leg.
Start practicing, Tom.
All I want for Christmas is
New leg, yeah.
or teeth. I'll take teeth too.
Jesus Christ! Wow.
That's
Tom.
good stuff.
Never
Good
ends.
stuff, man. Good stuff.
Hey,
Anything else, Dad?
Declan.
Anything
We're
else,
good.
Dad?
No,
Okay.
we're good. Good night, everybody.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All
We
right,
thank you,
guys.
Milo.
Sending
Happy
big
holidays, Merry
love.
Christmas to your whole families.
Congratulations to the Jacks, the
Thank you.
2020 Hall of Fame inductees.
That's
All right, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you around the bend
Ricky,
when we
love
do a
you.
live show.
Tanya, love you.
Take
Mom,
care.
too.
Bye, everyone.
All right,
See you
guys. Cheers to you. Much love. Have a good night, y'all.
Thank you.
Peace. Don't forget to donate so we can keep doing these. Much love.